Ladies and gentlemen, this creator is back again on my channel with a big upcoming fight for redemption against small Spartan J. Please welcome the Argentinian King, man. Listen,
The one and only, the best looking guy on Misfits. Now that Tommy Fury is not on Misfits anymore, the best
yeah,
looking guys here, and excited to be back, man. It's been a minute.
mhm,
It's been a
yeah,
long time coming, but yeah, we're
mhm.
back.
Yeah, man. I know. And the last fight was in Miami back in Misfit 16. That was what, August to now. That's been that has to be 6 plus months. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
man.
been I think 7 months or something like that.
7 months.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
but
You know. hmm
it's tough because if I knew back then that I was gonna fight again in March, then it's
Yeah.
easy. You take time off, you
Yeah.
enjoy your life, you go on vacation. But I thought I was gonna fight before the end of the year,
Yeah.
so I never stopped training, and I lost. And I think Monday or Tuesday I was back at the gym,
hmm
grinding and trying to come back. And
Yeah.
then I got offered to fight in Qatar, but unluckily it was not enough time for me to lose the weight because they
Yeah.
offered me a fight
hmm
20 days before or something like that.
hmm
Because some fight fell off and they were trying to look for a last minute replacement, but I was
hmm
not ready. Um, and then I was trying to come back on December.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, and then I got offer on January, which I took the fight, but then it fell through. So it is what it is. We are
Yeah.
back March 29th.
No,
Uh,
for sure. And I was gonna say because I know you just mentioned March 29th. That's on a KSI card, right? Big opportunity. How did that like? When did you get the call about it, and like, how did that all like necessarily kind of come about when this fight got offered to you?
well, me and Jay were scheduled to fight on Memphis 20 on January.
hmm
But the reason we didn't fight was because I got offered the fight. I think in on the Qatar fight week that my manager was there, and he
hmm
was like, "Hey, yo, I might have something for you in January." I'm like, "Nice." They offered me the fight, and I said yes right away, of course.
hmm
Um, and then they were like, "How light can you go?" I mean, like, what you mean? The division is 135. What you mean? How light can I go?
hmm
135. And they were like, "Oh no, they're trying to do catch weight." I'm like, "Oh my god!" I knew it was coming though. When they
hmm
told me that it was against Jay, I knew it was coming. And
hmm
anyway, I was way too heavy back then. So we agreed to fight at 135, but Jay was like, "All right, we're fighting that way. However, I want to fight in 10 ounces and with padding, which is just bigger gloves." And I said, "Yes, no problem."
hmm
Um, but we came back and forth for a good month and a half before we agreed to the terms. And luckily, when we agreed, the car was pretty much full,
Yeah.
and they added another car, another fight, so they couldn't place us in that card, and it got rescheduled for March. So basically, on December, when our fight got canceled, we knew that we were fighting in the March card.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how
No,
it came to fruition.
that's very interesting to hear. One thing about what's very special about this fight is that I mean you both are coming off of a loss, but it seems like both of you really want to prove something. Um, would you say you have more of a chip on your shoulder compared to Jay? Even though like Jay is coming off of a he is coming off a KO loss. Would you say you have more of a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, it's ways of losing. Yeah,
hmm
I mean, he's coming from a loss, but it was a terrible loss. I
hmm
think me against Yari was a competitive fight at times, and
hmm
although I didn't perform as well as I wanted to, it was okay. So I did show some improvement from that fight to from the Puli fight to the Yari fight, and he didn't. Yeah, so
hmm
he has more to prove than me, for sure.
hmm Yeah, and actually, I kind of thought I kind of thought of this question last night when I was setting up these questions. You know, with accepting this fight against Jay, like, what do you want out of it from a boxing perspective? What's I guess, the goal and the motive you kind of want out of this fight, heading in a few weeks?
From the boxing perspective, is staying active and coming back.
Hmm.
Um, and then from the personal perspective, is milking it, baby. Money talks. But no,
Fair.
like realistically, I need to come back.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I mean, I could have fought Bully or him or whoever, really. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter. But I got offered the fight, and I don't say no to no challenge. As long
Okay.
as the terms are okay and I have enough time to prepare,
Yeah.
then I'll take all the fights. I don't mind.
Hmm. Yeah. I actually, you kind of brought up a point with, Pulley. He just recently, fought on brand risk against Dean. What did you kind of make of that performance? And yeah, how did you feel about, yeah, Pulley's performance in general since you shared the ring with him?
I think Puli, man, he's very talented, but the kid is he just very undisciplined. And he like is that a
Hmm.
word like when you're not disciplined? Undisciplined? No, I don't know. He's lazy. He
Hmm.
doesn't train.
Mm.
So he although he has a lot of talent, he doesn't put the work in. And I think now he's with Coach Soul. He's a great coach,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
you know he's definitely going to improve a lot, and he's definitely going to train a lot. So I'm looking forward to see him fight again. And I know I mean, in my opinion, he beat Dean, and
Yeah.
yeah, Puli is awkward, and he can beat anyone really.
Hmm. No, you just mentioned, you said that in your opinion, Pulley defeated Dean. Um, with what is it with that? Like, well, within having that opinion, right? Where would you rank Dean in terms of like all the misfits fighters in in your weight class? Because he was a champion at one point, relinquished it. Who would you? Yeah, where would you rank Dean amongst like all the misfits fighters?
I think he's you know uh, anyone that fought on the semifinals in
Hmm.
the tournament, and Fox and Walid. Well, not Walid, he beat him, but
Hmm.
he's got to be ranked after all the tourney guys and Fox, because
Hmm.
the way that he performed against Dave Fogarty and the way he performed against Pulley, um, he's not there. He's not in our level. And although he's a great fighter, he's small, very small. He was 135 like in the last fight, and he was chubby, like literally chubby.
Hmm.
So he's small.
Hmm.
But
So yeah.
yeah.
So you would say for sure five fighters are better than Dean within
Oh hell
135.
yeah!
Hmm. Okay.
All the tourney guys and me.
Hmm.
Well, all the tourney guys
And
that
then
fought in the
Fox.
semifinal. I'm Fox, and
Hmm.
then he should be ranked right after that.
Hmm. No, for sure. I was just curious on that, just because, like, it always ranges. I'm always curious to see where people rank certain fighters, and it always ranges between, either top three, top five, just all over the place, right? But a little bit back towards the fight, right? You just recently did a face off on Misfits News. When you were talking to Jay, what did you notice about him and like the way he was talking to you and like answering questions and stuff?
I mean, he's definitely scared because like you don't ask to fight in 10 ounces unless you are
Hmm.
really concerned about your opponent's power.
Yeah.
Uh, you don't really ask for like new conditions and trying to weight drain your opponent if you don't believe that unless you have those conditions you ain't winning.
Hmm.
So I think he loves the fight already in negotiations, trying to weight drain me, trying to fight with bigger gloves and stuff.
Hmm.
He was really smart in always like, oh no, that was my team, it's not me. But bro, then your team doesn't even believe in you and they train you. Um, so I don't know. I think he doesn't have the confidence that he's gonna
Hmm.
beat me, and definitely it's not gonna happen. And he actually thinks that weight draining me is gonna be enough to beat me, but he ain't gonna weight drain me. That's the reality. I'm very disciplined. I can make weight next
Hmm.
week if I wanted to. So,
Okay. I was gonna actually ask, like, like what's your weight? 'Cause I know that's like the big thing heading in this fight about like the about weights
If,
and like that.
if I tell you, would you bleep it up?
Yeah, I can censor it. Yeah.
Okay, censor it.
Hmm.
So this week I finished at, and the fight
Okay.
take place at 132.5.
Yeah, 132.5. Okay, got it. So still
So
10 more. Okay. Yeah, that's yeah, you on track because it's still like 3, 4 weeks away. So yeah, no,
yeah,
that's
well, like 20 something days. I
Mhm.
usually cut.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah. Hmm.
so for,
Um, so Jay also brought up a point, within the face off. It's still about the weight, right? I'm kind of curious to see what you think about this. He brought up the fact that he thinks that the weight would be more fair on your end within this fight because since he's a 125er and that you're a 135er, that the middle is 130. But since like you said, the fight's at 132 and a half. What do you kind of agree with that assessment of it being fair or like not at all? No.
no, not at all, because the division is lightweight. And when
Hmm.
he fought Bully, they didn't put no conditions. When
Hmm.
he fought Fox, they didn't put no conditions. So why are
Hmm.
you trying to put any condition now against me? So
Hmm.
definitely he doesn't have the confidence, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and the division is lightweight division is 135. You don't gotta like. He's not your Bonte. He's not a big draw. We're not fighting for a title. I'm not getting paid extra money to fight to fight in a way that is not mine. So the only reason that I accepted the fight was because
Hmm.
it was a big stage and it made sense.
Hmm.
But the weight and everything is so fucking bullshit.
Hmm.
It really is. Because it's making me hate boxing at this moment. I don't even
Yeah.
want to like do another training camp like this. Don't have energy whatsoever to train. I
Yeah.
gotta spar. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
Hmm.
I have a life. I have a 9 to 5 job as well, and I
Yeah.
gotta do everything while starving. So
Yeah.
come on. But it
Yeah.
is. I'm a professional. I'm gonna make the weight,
Hmm.
and I'll never fight ever again at 132.5.
Yeah.
That's for
132.5. Yeah. No, for sure.
But you know me, you saw me. I'm a big boy. It's not that I walk around 135 flat.
Hmm.
I'm a big boy. You saw me after the Yari fight.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Come on.
oh no, sorry, go for it. Go for it. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, like
Hmm.
I remember seeing you right after the fight.
Yeah.
How much do you think that I was walking around then?
If I have to guess, what if it was at 135, maybe 150?
Yeah, not that much, but close.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hmm.
right, yeah, maybe something like that during
Yeah.
fight
Hmm.
during fight day. And by the way, Jari too. Jari was big.
Oh yeah, no, Yeti cuts a lot of weight. Yeah, from what I've heard, but listen, I mean, it is what it is. It's listen, I mean, on a I guess brighter note, I mean the fight's coming up soon, so hopefully it's not forever that you have to keep what is it? It's not forever that you have to keep starving yourself. You know what I mean? It's coming
No,
up
I
soon.
mean making weight is always tough, and
Yeah.
I guess it does get a bit easier with the fights.
Hmm.
Let's just say for the Yari fight, I had to go 9 weeks without even a cheat day. 9 weeks. So
Wow.
that was mentally was a lot. Um, but just because I didn't know if I was gonna make the weight or not, because I started that camp at 165.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So you had to cut
So
drop. Hmm.
but this time I had my last cheat day yesterday, and I
Yeah.
made weight, and it's a lower weight. So you learn, but it's never fun. Is it the worst part? The worst part about the sport
Hmm.
is losing weight, but it is what it is. It's part of it.
For sure.
We get paid really well, so
Hmm. For sure. For sure. There, I actually still on the topic of that like face off. There was one moment, when Roundhouse asked Jay if he was successful with this fight, could he migrate to the 135 division, right? Jay responded by saying that he's never been 135, but is also looking at other fights after this. Do you think Jay's kind of overlooking you when he says that he has other options? He's looking at other fights after this one.
I mean he knows he's not gonna beat me. That's for sure. deep in his mind, he knows he's losing. He just there is it's pretty much impossible him winning.
Hmm.
There's no way. But
Hmm.
he can have our fights because he will always have the excuse of the weight. If I lose, I don't have no excuse. What would it be? No excuse. So he can go and fight Baby Hulk or a lighter fighter, but by me losing this fight, I have to retire. That's it. If I lose, I bounce. You will never see me again ever on Misfits.
Really, if you lose.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lose. There's no way.
Mhm.
I'm gonna lose to a 120 pounder that has no skills, no power, is slow. There's no way. So I'm losing, and I ain't going anywhere anytime soon anyway.
It's fair. I mean, that's a big stipulation on the line. But one last thing before one last thing before I go into a fun segment, right? Um, you kind of spoke on Jay getting KO'd from Fox, right? And you mentioned about how he's scared to get hit. Do you think that because going into this fight there's a mental block about him kind of getting scared to hit, or is it from a different aspect that you made that comment?
No. He's got to be scared. I mean,
Mhm.
I do give the kids props for stepping back in the ring after the
Mhm.
knockdown that he got.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume he watched it back because he's everywhere,
Hmm.
and it was scary.
Hmm.
So you gotta give him props for that, but at the same time, he'll have PTSD forever
Hmm.
because it was scary and it was feel
Yeah.
caught. But I think in this fight, he's not gonna come forward. Um, he knows him coming forward to war is gonna get him as bad of a knockout as he got against Fox. Because
Hmm.
I'm a bigger guy than Fox and I can punch as hard as Fox. So he's gonna go in there. He's gonna try to outbox me. He's not gonna work because he doesn't have the skills,
Hmm.
but he can try.
For sure. All right. That was enough from like at least that the face off that you guys did, very recently. I'm just gonna I want to do a fun segment. I did this, the first time we did it. I'm gonna revisit again the one word segment. I'm gonna list all these fighters, describe these fighters in one word. All right. First one, small Spartan J.
Weak and
All right.
small. All right.
Fair. Hey, more than one. You know what? I guess that's bonus points. Dean the Great.
Fake.
Hey, all right. Fox the G.
Future,
Hmm.
but he could be the real deal after this fight. No, there's a lot
Hmm.
of words, but yeah.
Yeah. No. How do you actually, real quick before I'll just I want to ask you this real quick. How do you who do you have with Fox and Waleed? Who do you think's gonna win?
I think it's really a 50-50 fight. I
Ooh,
really
okay. Hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. I think
Yeah.
both of them. This is the thing, though. Both of
Yeah.
them they coming from a really long layoff
Hmm.
um, because they haven't fought in a minute,
Hmm.
and they coming back to a big stage. So you
Yeah.
never know. Skills wise, it's very 50-50.
Hmm.
Um, but you never know. I mean, Fox is the bigger guy, but Wally
Yeah.
is more experienced.
Hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to that fight, honestly.
That'll be a good fight for sure. I was just curious on that. All right, next fighter, Waleed Sharks.
He cool,
Cool. All right. Yuddy,
brother.
brother. All right, Pulley Arif.
Um, Rivalry. Is that a word?
Yeah, rivalries are word. Yeah, yeah, you got that. All right, just two more. Ace Musa,
Good fighter.
good
Sorry,
fighter. All
that's
right, no, you good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All
he's
right, then
good.
last one. Lil Cray Cray.
Email champion.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Email champion.
Email champion. Fair,
Yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
the email, and
Mhm.
he'll be the email champion forever. So
Alrighty. And then, just one last thing before, I wrap it all up, right? I just kind of want to hear, man, your fight prediction against Small Spartan J. What's the prediction looking like?
um, I think Jay is gonna go in there and try to outbox me. It's not gonna work
Hmm.
because he's small and he's not a boxer. He just comes forward, but he's not gonna come forward because he's gonna get knocked out. So he's gonna try to outbox me and
Yeah.
uh, run around and try to counter me or something like that.
Hmm.
But eventually he's gonna run into something, and whenever that happens, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out. And then I'm coming back to Argentina to enjoy some time off.